carry beneath my shame? Who could carry that kind of weight? Here was my tomb till I met you. I was breathing but not alive. All my failures I tried to hide. Here was my tomb till I met you. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You call my name, I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Now your mercy has saved my soul. Now your freedom is all that I know. The old me knew Jesus when I met you. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Sin was heavy, the chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan, but you called me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing. Now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open, 'cause when you called my name, I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day.
Welcome, welcome. It's day 2 of virtual VBS, and I am so glad to know that you are on the other side of the camera smiling. Now, we've had a lot of fun together, and it's only day 2, and we're gonna continue to have some more fun. Now, I have discovered a few things this summer. Like first, I think people should be able to wear flip-flops and sandals year-round because it's the easiest shoe to put on, and I think they're mighty comfortable. Or, I've also noticed if it's really, really hot outside, instead of eating a popsicle, you might as well just drink some really cold juice, because if you don't eat it fast enough, that's all that's happening anyway. It's amazing what you can find out when you actually focus on something. When you take a closer look, you can see things that you may have never noticed before. You might even learn something about what you can't see because of what you can see. Now, our relationship with God is kind of like that. I mean, He's God and we're human. So we're never going to be able to completely understand everything there is to know about God. Because if we try, it's like a mind blown. Now, I've got to be honest, I really like the thought of our minds being blown. I think think it's a really good thing for us to try to focus on God more and more and to get to know him better and better. If we focus on him every day, then over time, we're going to start to think like God and we're going to start to act like him. We're going to be kinder, we're going to be more patient, and we're going to be willing to put other people first. Now, it's a good thing for us to focus on God, and there are lots of ways we can do that. We can look at things we can see like a sunset, a really tall tree, or a really big boulder we can climb, or maybe it's the smell of fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. We can also hear from God by reading the Bible. We can read the words Jesus said and then go out and put his words into practice. Now, we've got another awesome Bible story today, but before we get to that, we're going to play a game. Now, in just a second, you're going to see 30 images, one by one, go across the screen. You're going to watch those. You're not going to write anything down. You're not going to do anything. You're just going to look. Now, when the time is up, when all 30 of those images have passed by, I'm going to put 60 seconds on your screen. And in those 60 seconds, you're going to have to write down as many of the pictures as you remember. Now, maybe you remember 1, maybe you remember 20, maybe you remember all 30. You have 60 seconds to write them down. Once the 60-second timer is over, I'm going to put those images back on the screen so you can see how many you got right. Let's get started.
not seeing it. Maybe if you turn it sideways. Nope. Oh, hey, Kellen here, and I'm looking at an optical illusion. If you look at it a certain way, you're supposed to see a 3D picture pop out. Here, see if you can see it. Do you see it?
Hey, it's a dragon eating a donut.
No, it's a baseball player using a rubber chicken as a bat.
It's just a bird! A normal bird!
Yeah, I still don't see it. Okay, but I also have this one here. This is cool. So the lines look like they're moving, but they're actually not. It's playing a trick on our eyes. The way these lines are put together gives them the illusion of movement. Crazy, right? We've been talking this week about taking a closer look at what's around us. When we're taking a closer look, maybe we can see things that we hadn't seen before. Or maybe we can see things in a new way. Our Bible story today is asking us to take a closer look into who Jesus is. We're in the book of Matthew, and when we pick up the story in chapter 16, Jesus has already been on the scene for a while. And people are wondering, who is this guy? He's doing miracles. He's feeding the poor. He's hanging out with all kinds of people the rest of the world look down on. He's teaching new things. Who is he exactly? So we read that Jesus was walking down the road and he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" His disciples turned to each other and they didn't answer for themselves. They told him what other people were saying. They told him, "Some say you're John the Baptist. Others say Elijah. Others say Jeremiah or one of the prophets." That's what the disciples said. But let's say you asked people today, who is Jesus? You would probably hear a lot of different things too. Maybe some would say, he's a great teacher. Some people might say he's a great rabbi or preacher. People might see how he healed the sick and call him a doctor. People might say Jesus is love, that he is the light of the world, that he is a shepherd for his people. People have a lot of different thoughts about who Jesus is. But let's go back to the story now. His disciples had given him answers of what others were saying, but then Jesus asked his disciples, "But what about you? Who do you say I am?" I wonder if the disciples were scared here. They were put on the spot. Maybe they didn't know exactly who Jesus is, or maybe they didn't want to say what they thought. But here, Jesus was asking them point blank, "Who do you say that I am?" They had to answer for themselves. But then, after a moment, Peter spoke up. He too might have been scared or unsure, but he said this, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Now, Jesus is many of those things we listed, but Peter recognized he is so much more. And here's the thing, you're invited to recognize the same thing. If you see that Jesus is the Messiah and ask him to be a part of your life, he can and he will continue to change your life forever. Now, Jesus went on to tell Peter that his answer was revealed to him by God, and that Peter will be the rock that he would build the church on. Now, here's the thing about Peter. He wasn't perfect. He said some pretty wild things and made some pretty big mistakes. But he was honest, and he wasn't scared to say what he was thinking or ask questions of Jesus or other people. Peter took a closer look at Jesus. He saw the way Jesus loved, the way he taught, the way he changed the world. Peter realized Jesus is the Messiah. We can learn a lot by being honest and asking questions just like Peter. You can talk with people about what you believe. Especially talk with people in your life that you can trust, like your parents or your small group leaders. The more you talk about what you believe, the more you can learn from others, and the more others can learn from you. That's it for today. I'll see you guys soon as we continue to take a closer look.
You can talk with others about what you believe. And that's exactly what you're gonna do in small group today. So if you'll go to your day 2 bag, you've got a couple sheets for today. You've got 2 that look like this, and you're gonna start with the say what page. Then you'll need your speech bubbles, and then you'll just need a plain piece of paper and draw your absolute best stick figure on. Now, as you go through your small group material, it's gonna ask you a couple questions and it's gonna tell you exactly what to write in these speech bubbles so you can talk about how you talk to other people about your faith and how you talk to other people about God and Jesus. Once you get done with that, you guys can skip over to the next page and do your discussion questions. And just as a reminder, discussion questions don't have right or wrong answers. This is just a chance to open up your dialogue and ask questions, spark ideas in other people's brains. Pause this video. When you get all this done, you can come right back. All right, guys, it's time for our prayer journal time. So before you get started on this, I want you to just take a few minutes to yourself and then as a group and just pray and talk to God and thank Him for another beautiful day we get to spend together. Then I want you to open your booklet up to where it says you can talk with others about what you believe. Now, yesterday I gave you a question to answer and we're going to do the same thing today. Your question today is, what is God doing in your life right now? Now, you might have some really awesome things that God is doing in your life that the people around you don't even know. So take this time to write or draw a picture and then discuss it with the people around you. You can pause this video and as soon as you're done, we can come back. You get to hear from Joey about our game today. And I want to remind you that we're still raising money to help Michael Vo continue his job at Casas. And there's going to be a link down below if you can donate.
Hey guys, I hope you're having an incredible second day of virtual VBS. Now we have a craft for you guys. So this is kind of what I want you to do. Hopefully you have your supplies all laid out. With those supplies, I want you to build a series of towers, of ramps, maybe tunnels with the supplies we gave you and whatever you can find around your house. And what you're trying to do is to get your marbles to go from point A all the way to point B as difficult as you can. It might be really simple, but if you can, maybe try to use your imagination a little bit. Because I think, if I remember correctly, your bottom line for today is that you can talk with anyone about what you believe. And sometimes it can be really easy to talk about what we believe, or sometimes it can be kind of hard. Sometimes we might not even be 100% sure about what we believe, or even just a little confused. And you know what? That's okay. Just like these things you're gonna build, there's ups, downs, twists and turns, and that's okay. Because sometimes we don't always know 100% what we believe, but we can still talk about that with other people. So hope you guys enjoy building this. Check out what my friends made with their materials.